There we go. Okay. It's all yours, Kelsey. You can take this wherever you want to take it, I guess.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm trying to figure out where to even begin. Just as a quick introduction, my name is Kelsey Child. I'm the brand marketing manager over here at FiiZ and the Stena Group. I work really closely with FiiZ in general. It's our biggest account that I'm currently working on. I've been with the company now for almost a year, and so I've worked really closely with Justin and then obviously a few other people on the team. But I guess there's different areas that we can talk about from a marketing perspective with FiiZ in general. So we do a lot of marketing from the franchisee local store level. We do marketing from a brand level. We do marketing from grand opening level to new stores coming online and working with the franchisees, getting their marketing, their 60 to 90-day marketing plan solidified and figured out for their opening, grand opening event, and then even a month or two after. Let's see here. We also have some partnerships that we work with at the brand level as well. An example of that, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Real Salt Lake. They are our soccer team here in Utah. So we have a partnership with them. We have a partnership with Red Bull, DoorDash, and a lot of other things as well. Um, I guess maybe I'd like to start off with kind of what maybe questions you guys initially have. I mean, I'm sure that there's probably some questions that might fit more of kind of what you're looking for. Obviously, you guys don't currently own locations. So I'm sure you guys probably have some questions as to what marketing would look like from grand opening events to once you guys actually have your store up and running, what kind of support do we give our current stores that are open and things like that. So maybe I'll open up the floor to questions.
So, this is Joe Walker. I have a question.
Yeah,
What are the different types of marketing strategies that you would use for um, franchises that open up outside of Utah or outside of the area where people are more familiar with the soda concept?
yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So one of the things that we currently do is we have a grand opening marketing plan. I briefly mentioned that it is a 60 to 90-day plan. So there are marketing efforts that we do leading up to the opening, marketing efforts for the actual grand opening day, and then we have efforts for even the months following the grand opening to be able to keep that momentum and that buzz around the opening and the brand awareness. So a few of those tactics consist of a PR agency that we recommend. They are called Franchise Elevator. We very highly recommend them for our outside markets outside of Utah. Exactly to your point, we have some locations that are the only one in the state, or there's a handful of them, and so just the brand awareness isn't fully quite there as it is here in Utah. So Franchise Elevator is great. They do media outreach, but then also influencer outreach as well. They work with you closely to create a press release. If they're able to reach out to any media and actually get in-person like coverage, they will help you guys do like interview training and things like that, help you come up with questions, basically help you develop your story for your specific store. And so you'll work really closely with them. They have different packages, but the main package that we recommend is a 60-day package to where they will be doing efforts for your store leading up to your opening, PR for the grand opening event, but then even after as well to again create that buzz and keep it going. We also run meta ads on Facebook and Instagram for your store. They're more evergreen campaigns of letting people know that you're about to open. So again, there's a strategy behind that of 2 weeks before you open, we have meta ads going of we're coming to your neighborhood, we're refreshing your neighborhood. And then once you guys open, we will have a grand opening message that will then be executed and then an evergreen campaign that will be pushed 30 to 60 days after the grand opening event of encouraging people to order online. The call to action will be to order now. They'll have your online ordering link, and then obviously some graphics that go along that show a lot of our products and what our offering is. Let's see here. Along with that, we also do a direct mailer, which I'm sure a lot of you guys might think, oh, snail mail, that's very traditional marketing. I wish Laura, our director of onboarding, was on this call because she speaks very highly of direct mailers. She's done a couple for her store. She runs our Stansbury Park locations, and then she also works for the corporate team, and her store is one of the top profitable stores in our brand. But she's run many direct mailers, and so those have been really successful. We do bounce back coupons on the back. The main messaging is promoting the grand opening event. So we typically will have the direct mailer start hitting homes in your area a week before the grand opening event. And then there are bounce back coupons on the back. There's two of them. We have one coupon that is a little bit more urgent in the expiration date to get people to come back sooner. And then the second one is a little bit more spread out over a 2-month period. But again, just encouraging those people to come back to the store. And what those coupons typically look like is we don't really necessarily do like 20% off or 10% off because let's face it, people don't really care about that. They don't care to get a 20% off. So typically what those coupons look like to be able to get those customers to come back and to have them continue to be loyal customers is one of the coupons is it's typical BOGO, buy any drink, get a free 16 ounce or 24 ounce drink. We do exclude frozen and energy drinks just because margins on those aren't as good as kind of our typical drinks. And so those will be excluded. And then we have another offer of buy any drink, get a free pretzel bites and sauce. So again, that encourages our customers to try our snacks. So hopefully when they come back again, they'll be purchasing the drinks and the snacks along with that. And again, that just increases the value of the ticket price and the average ticket price. I'm sorry, excuse me. And so hopefully that will just continue to grow as people are visiting your store. Let's see here. Along with that, we do encourage you guys to reach out to your Chamber of Commerce. A lot of the times they will do a lot of the legwork with marketing from their perspective. Sometimes they'll come and do a ribbon cutting. They'll do a Facebook Live, which is promoting your location is coming soon and opening. So we definitely encourage leveraging your Chamber of Commerce in your city. Let's see here. We have some kind of boots on the ground tactics where we have promo cards that you can print off, business cards with an offer on the back to where you can go pass those out to local big businesses and organizations. Once you do open up, we highly encourage community outreach and getting involved in your community. So kind of what that could look like are doing spirit nights, donation nights, kind of things like that. We have a lot of locations here in Utah that are close to schools. And so some people will do almost kind of like a student combo meal to try to get the students to come like on their lunch break to come and get a drink and a snack bites of some sort for a certain price. So we push a lot of those kind of offers for more of like the locations that have schools in the area. One of the things that we do recommend as well is more of like a sampling program. So when you are initially opening up, part of the grand opening budget that you will see in your FDD agreement, there is a budget already allotted to the grand opening, and we do encourage a sampling program. So if you have like a training day with your team members before you open, or even when you're opening and you're making a bunch of drinks, you don't want those to go to waste. We encourage you taking those drinks to a fire station in your area or a doctor's office to just be able to get your products out there. And a lot of that food cost, which hopefully will be utilized with doing the sampling program, but we can allot part of the grand opening marketing budget to food costs. We typically have the food costs go towards the grand opening offer that you guys will do for your big grand opening day event, but we can also look into having that be incorporated into the sampling program as well. There's a few other tactics, but they're kind of smaller things, but those are kind of the main, I guess, strategy that we recommend when it comes to opening up in an out-of-state market. Hopefully that answered your question, Joe. Sorry, that was really long-winded, but I just want to make sure I give you guys all the details.
Yeah, no, that was great.
Yeah.
So you mentioned meta targeted advertising.
Yes.
I'm probably not in the demographic for those targeted demographics, but what are other like social media campaigns or ads that FiiZ runs?
Are you kind of meaning more so like the brand campaigns that we run, like on a
Yeah,
quarterly
and
or monthly
anything, because
basis?
I've never seen. I'm on social media a bit, but I've never seen really a FiiZ. But again, maybe I'm not the target
Yes.
demographic, so
Yeah, so depending on the campaign, we do have like different audiences that we will target, especially when it comes to like the geo-fencing around the ads. So specifically with like a new store opening, we will do a 3 to 5 mile radius for the geo-fencing and the geo-targeting in that specific area. Because typically anywhere outside of a 5 mile radius, it is hard to get customers to come visit the location. So we typically keep within the 3 to 5 mile radius. Depending on the campaign, if we're trying to hit more like college students, because we have a location that just opened up in Tucson, Arizona, right next to U of A. And so we will specifically target the college. Like we'll put like a radius and put it right onto the university and on campus to ensure that we are targeting the students there as well. But yeah, our audiences sometimes do look different depending on the campaigns that we run. And a lot of our demographic are moms and families and things like that. And so you may or may not see it depending on kind of what you're searching, what your interests and your behaviors are. But when it comes to the meta ads, like some of the campaigns, or I guess one of the biggest campaigns that we did do meta ads for and display ads and Google ads for was we did a big 10th anniversary campaign back in June on June 7th, and we offered free drinks all day long. We did have a limited menu, but we went all out for that campaign because it was our 10th anniversary. And obviously, due to budgeting throughout the year, we wanted that to be huge to put an emphasis on our 10th anniversary here at FiiZ. So a big budget was behind meta ads, display ads, Google search ads. We did a big budget around PR. So our PR agency that we have on retainer, Franchise Elevator, we had them reach out to the state wire, but then also the national wire. And we actually got some recognition on some national media outlets, which was really great. And kind of things like that. But then we have kind of some of these smaller campaigns. We're coming up in October. We have a FiiZ Frights. And what that means is we are pushing 3 spooky drinks for the entire month of October. But what we're doing is that's kind of more of a digital campaign. So a lot of our franchisees have local social media pages, and we have a platform called Rallyo to where our local pages are synced to that. We have a big media library where we have corporate assets that are uploaded that we ensure are on brand and consistent and cohesive. And we want to be able to give that support to our franchisees. So a lot of those assets digitally will be uploaded there to where franchisees can use those. And then we also use our main corporate page, social media outlet like the Instagram and Facebook to be able to push that. And again, we don't have a promo price with that until the very end. So initially for basically majority of the month of October, it's going to be digital, local. We really want our franchisees to push that more on like a local level, which is why we use Rallyo. But then at the end of October, we will be pushing meta ads. We are promoting these 3 drinks at a promotional price. It's October 29th through the 31st to really encourage the traffic and increase the traffic at the stores for the very end of October. And so that's like a smaller campaign that we're executing in October. We have another one coming up called FiiZ the Season in December, but again, that's just for the month. So it kind of depends on the duration because we want to be able to see what's moving the needle and what's not. And so if we have a campaign that's shorter or a campaign that's more of like a quarter, we're running it for like the entire quarter. So it could be Q4 or we're already planning for 2025. It kind of just depends on what the strategy is when it comes to using meta ads, display ads, using our PR agency and kind of things like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Ryan, correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
So you already spoke about this mostly, but just early stages on, what does that relationship look like with you getting started? And you spoke a little bit about how with the startup cost, there's some marketing built into it. Like what all is built into it, and how does that relationship look going down the line?
Yeah, are you referring to just the partnership and relationship from the initial onboarding or just from the marketing perspective?
Both.
Okay, Justin might be able to speak more to kind of what happens before the marketing stuff comes in. Typically, where I come in, when you guys are onboarding, you've signed your FDD agreement, you're working on finding a location, that's all before I come on board. Typically, we will meet a month and a half, maybe 2 months before you guys actually have your opening day. So what that will look like before that is you typically will work with my coworker. Her name is Laura, and she is amazing. So she's our onboarding and director of training. So she'll kind of be your main point of contact to help you get set up with all of our vendors, work with kind of your on-site. You'll have like weekly calls with her to kind of go over how your construction is going, your onboarding's going, and things like that. Where I typically come in is a month and a half to 2 months before your opening. So I will work closely with you on getting your drive-through menu ready, your digital boards ready, making sure that your pricing is correct on all of kind of those graphic and assets, but then also working towards the strategy for your grand opening event. And that looks very different from franchisee to franchisee based off of their area and things like that. But I will work really closely with you. We have an Excel sheet where we will track the budget. Like I said previously, Justin again might have more details on this, but um, I believe in the FDD agreement, there is like an allotted budget that you guys will have to spend when it comes to the grand opening marketing. And that whatever that budget is in your FDD agreement, we will use that budget either fully, or if you want to go over that budget, you absolutely can. But typically, there is like an allotted budget that we will stick within. And based off of that budget, we will then kind of, I will help you get quotes on things like for the direct mailer. We'll go over what the meta ad cost is for everything. If you're wanting to get, I guess, print quotes for business cards, promo cards, and things like that, I will work really closely with you on getting those quotes and staying on the budget to ensure that we're not going to go over. But we do want to make sure the reason why there is a budget in place in the FDD agreement is because we don't want you, if you're an out of state market, to just not do any marketing, because at the end of the day, that's going to hurt you and the success of you opening your store. So there absolutely does need to be marketing in place to be able to, I guess, obviously the brand awareness in your area. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. And so we would regularly work with you, not just in the beginning, but through the whole process.
Oh, absolutely. Even when you guys are open and you've been open for months, I will still meet with you guys to help you figure out more of a local strategy. So we have a marketing playbook that we send out to all of our franchisees that have tactics of from your donation nights, from doing influencer stuff, from doing your GMB listing and doing Google ads, search ads, and things like that. There is an array of traditional marketing, digital marketing, all kinds of things that we can do. And so then based off of your monthly budget, once you open, we can then come up with a strategy and the tactics to utilize to then be able to keep implementing marketing even after your grand opening event. So I'll be working really closely with you. A lot of franchisees will come to me with ideas of like, hey, I really want to promote this hydro jug, which we do a lot of tumblers and we have a partnership with Hydro Jug. And so if you're wanting to promote one specific hydro jug, but we don't have actual assets for you, you'll work with me. I will make sure that those assets are sent to our graphic designer, I'm sorry, a request sent to our graphic designer. Because again, being the brand manager, I also am keeping up with our franchisees to ensure everyone is keeping up with brand consistency, using the correct logos, the correct colors, the typography, and things like that, because that's crucial even in our out of state markets. We don't want someone to go to your location, they go to your social media page, and then they come to our brand page and we all look separate. Like we're all one brand. So again, there is that aspect of the marketing side as well. But again, just to circle back, we will be working really closely from your grand opening day, event, and even afterwards as well. And then any other marketing requests that you have.
Thank you. And do you personally come out to the location regularly? Is it more just kind of in starting or
So I personally have not. I don't know if that's just because I would love to. I would love to be able to come out to your stores and meet you guys in person and things like that. I don't know if we typically have that in the budget for me to do that. I know that Laura, who will be kind of more of your onboarding person, she will be coming out to your store for your opening and your grand opening event, help with training and things like that. You will also be having a franchise business consultant We currently have two on our team. Their names are Joel and Jack. You'll be working really closely with them as well. And they most likely will be coming out to your store.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kelsey, I was wondering, you mentioned this just briefly, but do you have a location scouting team, or is that something that is done by the future franchise owner?
That's actually a really great question. Justin, you might know more about that. I know that we have a real estate team in place that can help you with that. I don't know if that's like an additional cost because that comes with the Stena Group side aspect of the shared service. Justin, could you maybe speak more of that for Stacy?
Yeah, so Stacy, that's mostly your responsibility. Depending on how much you want to be involved, or if you want our team to take it over completely, there's an additional fee for that. That's in the FDD, and we could talk more about it on our next call that we have one-on-one.
Okay, I apologize. I just got the FDD and I haven't been able to read it. I scanned it, and so I'm sorry if I'm asking questions beyond the scope.
No, you're good.
It's good that you're already thinking about this, though, because those are obviously questions that I'm sure a lot of people also probably have on the call. And so when you guys do kind of get deeper into that process, definitely ask those questions. Like, no questions are stupid questions. Like, we want you guys to be informed and we want to be as transparent as possible when giving you guys all the correct information and whatnot.
Yeah, and eventually we'll have a real estate call like this where they can talk about what things you can do on your end or what things they could just take over for you on that at that additional cost. So we'll try to schedule one of those calls soon in the future.
Sounds good.
Yep. Hey, Kelsey, one question that I get quite often is how much free range the franchisees will have. Like say they're an expert marketer, how much like can they employ their own tactics and how much communication needs to be done with you and things like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, if you yourself are a marketing guru, which awesome, like it's great that we can kind of tag team and brainstorm and things like that. And I'm more than happy to do what I can on my end to best support you. When it comes to, I guess, checks and balance in this kind of a situation, if you have strategy that you want to go off and run with, that's awesome. However, any graphics that are going to be seen by the customer, whether that's a digital ad that you're wanting to push out, you want to go off and do your own mailer, you want to go create your own flyer, or you have a partnership with a school, we just want to make sure that we're in the loop of that we just want that brand consistency to be there. So again, we will be sending you guys when you are onboarded a brand style guide that you can use to reference. It has all of our colors. It has the hex codes. It has our secondary colors, the typography, where you can go download the correct fonts. It shows you how to use the logo in the correct way, how to pair the colors with either the black, colored, or white logo, things like that. So that will give you guys a general guide. So if you are wanting to go off and you have your either your own marketing agency, we work really closely with some other franchisees that have marketing agency as well. But again, we really want that brand consistency to be there. So anything that's going to be customer facing, we do have an internal team we have a graphic designer and everything. So if you have an idea, but you don't have that graphic team in place, we're more than happy to get that created and then send that back to you. It's like an open conversation. If we send you something back and you're like, I don't like this, but I like this, we will change anything and everything to still be accommodating to what you exactly want to do and execute. But I'm just here to make sure it's on brand and everything is cohesive. Any other questions? I feel like I just kind of like gave so much information. I know it's probably a lot. Again, there's like different realms of kind of what I work with from like the local level of store marketing with stores that have been open for 5 years, 2 years, whatever, but then also the grand opening aspect, but also the brand wide strategy that then trickles down into kind of that local aspect as well. But again, we all work very closely. I obviously am working all the time. So you guys can shoot me a quick email if you need to get something approved or you have a question or you just want to bounce. Like I have a call right after this with a franchisee that just wants to run a caption by me and have some suggestions and things like that for a social post she's going to do. So I'm more than happy to hop on any calls for questions. You want to bounce ideas off me, whatever. I am here to fully support you and your marketing strategy and journey for your store. So. I think you're on mute.
I love that you are, or that FiiZ in general is so open to allowing franchise creativity within that. That I think that's very, 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 very cool, I guess, for lack of a better term.
No, and we love that. And we very much want this to be like a collaboration with our franchisees. Obviously, there does still need to be some structure and checks and balance, like I said, to make sure everything is still on brand. But if you have ideas specifically for your store, and maybe we've never done something like that before, you could be a great test store for us. Because if it's going to be successful for your store, we absolutely want to share that with the other franchisees because those are other things that they can also be doing to make their store successful. So, an example of that, we have a franchisee in Elko right now. She is testing out a bunch of swag stuff for us. So I have been working really closely with her. She's doing some fun crossbody bags, some hats, beanies, and it's not just the items because I know stores do all the kinds of items like this, and like stickers, but it's more so just like the graphic design work. We're kind of stepping out of our element and testing out a few things. And so we're more than happy to work with our stores and our franchisees with things like that. Obviously, we don't want it to get too crazy and have people going rogue and whatnot, which is why we have that checks and balance. But we're more than happy to work with our franchisees. And like I said, brainstorm ideas, try new things, because what might work for you will also work for other franchisees, but they never thought of something like that before. So again, we just want to be unified and be as one brand and just make sure that whatever ideas are going off with another franchisee that's working, we just want to share that across the entire brand. Because when you're being successful and sharing those things, other stores can be successful as well.
Awesome. I thought the same thing, that you guys are open to stuff. I think that's one of the things that's attracting us the most to you guys is you've got an awesome brand, awesome products. But it's nice that you're willing to say like, hey, maybe we could try this. So thank you guys. Like that's one of the things that's really cool for us too.
Absolutely. No, we love to hear that. We appreciate that. Sorry,
Great.
Justin. I feel like I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Thank you so much for doing this call. We'll just wrap things up now because I know you've got another call coming up soon. So yeah, this has been crucial and very helpful because in my opinion, like business owners, the franchisees, the most important thing that they can do is focus on driving more traffic to their stores. And so thanks for doing this. And I think this was appropriate to have it be the first one. And we'll get some more coming soon for you guys.
If you guys have any questions about marketing, send them to Justin and I'm more than happy to answer any other questions that you have. So
yep.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
See ya. Bye.